ValveTime.net.
Hi, and welcome to the ValveTime News. Each week, we'll bring you the biggest talking points regarding Valve and the community. James is a little busy and was unavailable to record for this episode, so I'll be filling in for him for this week. In case you've never heard of me before, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dietrich Ginocchio. I work for ValveTime as an assistant writer and subtitle creator, and I previously presented a pair of roundups a few months ago. Anyway, let's get on with it. Now, the news. Shortly before our last episode aired, a number of major news organizations came forward with brand new information regarding Valve's Steam Machine prototype and the Steam controller after a series of hands-on sessions. At around 12 inches long and 2.9 inches tall, the Steam Machine prototype, shown here, currently features a sleek, all-black design which measures in slightly larger than a standard Xbox 360 console, but far smaller than the average gaming PC. An article by The Verge's Sean Hollister discusses how Valve have carefully designed the casing to perfectly suit the components contained within it, thus allowing individual pieces of hardware to ventilate independently from one another. Small adjustable plastic panels inside the case prevent devices from sharing hot air space, forcing different components to breathe out of different areas of the case, with the processor blowing air out of the top while leaving the power supply plenty of room to ventilate through the side, the graphics card with plenty of room at the rear, and so on. Certain members of the community had previously expressed concerns regarding heat management in relation to the powerful components contained within the case, but The Verge have put these fears to rest by reporting that the box remained surprisingly cool and quiet for the duration of their hands-on time, even though the design of the device still remains classified as a work-in-progress prototype. One particular quote from the article describes how Doug Lombardi specifically stated that it would be against the company's philosophy to put a game in jail and say it only works on Steam machines, so don't expect to see Half-Life 3 or Left 4 Dead 3 launch exclusively on the platform. This is to be expected, however, as Valve have once again reiterated that the Steam machines are planned as a gaming alternative for those looking for a more open platform, and that the project is not, I repeat, not designed to compete with traditional next-generation consoles such as the Xbox One or PlayStation 4. The Verge article also previews the Steam controller in its development, briefly mentioning how Valve originally planned to incorporate a trackball of some kind in place of analog sticks. The trackball plan was scrapped when the team noticed they could use the current touchpad design as a more efficient, modern replacement which is still able to replicate the precision of earlier trackball prototypes. Sean also discusses how he found the device to be surprisingly accurate and responsive despite being initially confusing due to the controller's unconventional design. If the platform takes off, Valve are also planning to contract large-scale manufacturers in order to mass-produce the controller for growing audiences. During the hands-on sessions at Valve, the hardware team also briefly mentioned their unannounced virtual reality headset which has been in the works for some time. While little is currently known about the headset, Valve's engineers did discuss their plans to implement biometric sensors to the side of the device in order to track the user's emotional reactions to a game, such as whether or not a player is scared or nervous, etc. This may potentially allow developers to create more appropriately tailored experiences which react to what a player is feeling, using software similar to the omnipotent Director from the Left 4 Dead franchise. Valve had previously planned to implement biometric feedback sensors into the Steam controllers before identifying that the headset was a far better alternative. While we still don't know the pricing of either the Steam machines or the Steam controller, expect to find out a lot more about Valve software and hardware partners at CES 2014 in Las Vegas, which is set to last from January 7th through the 10th. Until then, why not join us in this week's discussion by leaving a comment below to let us know what you currently think of the Steam Machine project. Are you looking forward to getting one for yourself, or does this new middle ground between consoles and PCs not really fit your personal lifestyle? We want to know what you have to say. Speaking of the Steam machines, Project Cars became the first upcoming game title to publicly advertise SteamOS as a supported platform. Later in the week, Total War creators Creative Assembly announced that Total War Rome 2 will be updated to support SteamOS with full support for Linux, the Steam controller, and the Big Picture interface all coming early next year. The developers announced that they were impressed enough with the Steam controller to believe it could potentially function as a suitable alternative to mouse and keyboard for the popular yet buggy strategy title. Additionally, Valve recently announced a closed beta for the in-home streaming feature set to be added to Steam and SteamOS sometime before the release of Steam machines. The beta, which is set to begin later this year, will include randomly selected users who join a brand new Steam in-home streaming community group. Unfortunately, few other details about the beta are currently available, but we recommend heading on over to join the Steam group if you're looking to get involved. Following several weeks of outcry from the Dota 2 community regarding Valve's lack of communication over the absence of the Diretide Halloween update, the game's development team finally came forward with a response on Friday of this week. In a new blog post entitled "Not My Best Work," the team discusses the reasons why Diretide failed to appear this year and what they are doing to rectify any mistakes. Following the conclusion of Diretide in November 2012, much of the game's codebase and UI had been overhauled, effectively breaking the Halloween game mode and making it unplayable without significant repair work. Because of this, the team originally planned to skip Diretide this year in order to focus on finalizing another, much larger update, which was set to ship shortly before Halloween. However, after underestimating the community's desire for the game mode, the Dota team immediately began work on repairing and overhauling the game mode in order to ship it as soon as possible with or without Halloween. As such, the team have announced that Diretide is set to return with the next Dota 2 update, which we imagine will ship on Wednesday or Thursday of this coming week. The blog post also discusses the aforementioned larger update, which is also apparently nearing completion and will be set for release sometime following Diretide's inclusion. While few details are currently available about this new update, the team have mentioned they are confident the community will be happy with what's coming up. Finally, the blog post also mentions that Valve are looking to recognize any mistakes made over the past 2 weeks in order to improve their communication channels in the future. Just stop spamming poor Volvo already. Be sure to head on over to our main website or our social media outlets to stay up to date, as we'll definitely be talking about both Diretide and the unannounced update when they ship. A minor Counter-Strike Global Offensive update released earlier this week has introduced a number of changes to the game's spectator features, a number of gun models, and several maps. The update has also expanded the Steam and Twitch TV functionality by introducing Souvenir packages, which, as the name suggests, are special keyless cases set to be given to spectators of the DreamHack Winter 2013 Counter-Strike event using either Twitch TV or GoTV. Once opened, the packages will function similarly to normal cases by providing the player with a random weapon finish from a currently unknown roster of possible guns. If you're looking to learn more about the details of this week's update, be sure to check out the official changelog or Cyborg Matt's patch analysis over on his blog. An update released on Friday of this week has added virtual reality support to Half-Life Source, making it Valve's most recent title to receive the innovative functionality. The update also introduced virtual reality support for the Linux versions of Half-Life 2, Lost Coast, Episode 1, and Episode 2. If you own an Oculus Rift developer kit, you can try out the VR modes for yourself in Half-Life 2 or Half-Life Source by opting into the open beta using the properties menu for the respective games. Be sure to head on over to our full write-ups on ValveTime.net to find out more about Valve's virtual reality pursuits, a link to which will be provided in the video description, alongside useful links regarding everything else we talked about this week, including update changelogs, Steam group announcements, and much more. And that brings us to the end of another week of Valve news. Don't forget to subscribe for more ValveTime videos, news, and reviews coming soon. Be sure to check out our Dota 2 announcer pack on the Steam Workshop to rate us positively if you haven't already. James should be back next week, but until then, thanks for watching and bye for now.